Hello all, hope you're having a great day. This is Maro, welcome to my channel. So for today I have a Friesland video. That should not be so hard, but I'm getting distracted. Anyway, so I haven't really played Friesland in a long time. I've had it probably since the Christmas. I may have gotten it around for the free XP, I think. Maybe I played one or two or three games and it was interesting enough, but just didn't have time to really focus on it and play it more. And then I moved on, played some other ships, and then the European destroyer line came out and played that a little bit. Actually, not a little bit. I went through the three, got to Holland. I really like the fact of not having to fear the carrier any longer, because when you're in a Holland, you can just, sit in the ship and you have great AA and you can take care of yourself. I mean, you still have to be somewhat careful, right? They can spot you and they can ride you with their torpedo planes, which are harder to shoot down, and then allow their team to take you out. But nevertheless, you're not in the typical destroyer position where, oh my gosh, I'm caught here. What do I do? And Friesland, in some ways, also when it first came out, had a great AA. When it comes to tier 10 CV, it's not as good as Holland, so you need to be careful. But for the most part, it's sufficient AA for you to be able to defend yourself. And also, you have a smoke that the Pan-European DD line does not have, which allows you to hide yourself if you need to. The downside to Friesland is really concealment. It's not great concealment. So when it comes to taking caps, it's not an easy thing to do in an open cap. I think here where there is some support and where there are islands, together with my hydro, I felt safe enough and to be able to actually go and try to cap this. And here there is a cruiser that I kind of didn't really anticipate or saw, and was a little surprised by it, but nevertheless I have my team in the back that can spot. I'm in my smoke, there is no radar here, and it's party time. Now I'm not really doing a lot of damage to this British cruiser. I mean, I'm lighting fires, and I think my guns, the HE penetration is maybe 21 millimeters, so it's not enough to cause a lot of damage to an angled ship, other than starting fires that which he basically repaired. Now he's also continues to be angled to me, so it makes it hard for me to use my AP. Now that he's crossed like over 30-degree angle, I switch to AP and look to do some more damage. And the damage starts to rack up pretty quickly, and I think he realizes it and turns back. But he's out of position here. He's caught out. There are all my ships that see him, so it's not really looking good for that cruiser. And I'm in smoke, and as long as I'm covered, I should be alright. Which I was. Then they have two North Carolina and Rune. There is also Bismarck, which is headed away, and in the cap there is a destroyer, and it's which one is it? It's the French, I think, tier 7 destroyer. Nevertheless, I'm still doing okay and not really overly concerned, and having a battleship headed my way is just a perfect opportunity to add more fires, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Staying behind the island. Here I got a little concerned that my Georgia was about to put me in the path of those torps. Luckily, he turned away. I guess me sitting in smoke there for the past minute and a half just escaped his attention, which happens, so not a big deal. In any case, you do see a lot of BBs headed your way like this, sitting in smoke and just starting fires and aiming for their superstructure. One thing that, Friesland does not have is torps. So if you're in a battleship and you're close enough, you should definitely rush Friesland. Don't let it just sit there and farm you, which is, what I will try to do whenever given a chance. Here, the CV is the German Tier 8 CV, Graf Zeppelin. And as I learned to my own distress, I guess when it just came out or during those one-on-one rank battles, I got close to one and I learned that that's not a good idea. So the secondaries on those CVs are just killer. And not just to DDs, but also cruisers. So the best thing to do is stay clear of their secondary range, which, if they've built the CV for that, could, I think, go as far as 11.3 kilometers. So it can be far, which makes it really hard for DDs to be able to engage with them, especially given that your gun range tends to be on the shorter end and it's not that long. In any case, here I'm a little surprised that the CV was too close. I decided to really stay closer to the cap, not start chasing the CV. There are way too many targets here. Still, there are 2 DDs, there are 2 battleships and a cruiser. I'm lending my AA to my team as they get closer. In the cap now with the 2 DDs, Kitakaze and French destroyer. I'm not going to even try to pronounce it because there is no way I can. I am choosing caution over aggression and staying a little far, but not giving up entirely. Now, I get a glimpse of Kitakaze. I try to spray him with my gunfire. He really reverses quickly and is able to really miss. I don't think I hit him with any shots, right? And I think that's something that I've found over and over again. My ability to really shoot at other DDs at distance, and the ones that are evading and they're like moving left to right, changing speed. It's really not good, and I guess that basically just speaks to the skill. So it's one of those things that one has to learn through playing more, and I obviously need to get a lot better at it. And any DD with kind of a high arc guns, like Friesland is here, or the US destroyers, it makes it very hard for me to hit any destroyers at range. Battleships work, cruisers can work, DDs not really. So what I'm trying to do to compensate for that is really get close to them, and maybe closer than I would need to or should, just so that I can do as much damage as I can, which could be a good and bad. If your guns out gun them and your DPM is really high, then obviously it's going to work to your advantage. And being so close to them, you can inflict a lot of damage. I think a downside to when it comes to Friesland is really it doesn't have any heals. So with no heals, yes, you start the battle with 20,000+ of HP, but you cannot replenish it. So you need to be careful. The advantage to that is you don't have to wait for heals to come online to get health. You have health from the start. So that means if you do engage in a battle, you can afford to be a little more aggressive because you'll have a chance. You already have all your HP in the beginning. So it's not like, when it comes to, let's say, pan-European destroyers where, you will fight and then you don't want to overcommit because you're going to need some time for that heal to come back online. So short fights, whittle them down over time. Here you can afford to be a little more aggressive if you can. I guess the ideal, of course, would be to get the DD within your range and then just use your Hydro. But, Hydro is 5 kilometers, so it's not so easy. And the captain that I currently have here, it's the premium pan-European captain. I guess I went through the campaign recently and I just got the captain, so I put it on Friesland to, I guess, work a little more on building him out. So he's up to 15 points. which means I still have 4 more points that I'm working on, that I'm left. And I haven't necessarily decided what to use those last 4 points. Having the direction finder could be helpful, because especially given that a lot of DDs outspot you, having the direction finder allows you to know the direction where they are and then just head straight for them, and you may have to suffer for a few seconds of being exposed, but you know that A, you can catch up to them, and B, if they don't have a lot of support, potentially engage them or smoke and use your Hydra. In the meantime here, they are left with 2 battleships on this flank. We have North Carolina, Bismarck, which is really closing in on us, and the CV seems to be sending planes in direction still. North Carolina, now where it is, it's just a perfect target. It's not changing direction, going straight. All I'm doing here is aiming for her superstructure and starting fires. Now I am keeping an eye on Bismarck. I am concerned about Bismarck's Hydro. I'm not sure how far it can go. Is it 5 or 6K? Which could be problematic if it gets close enough and spots me in smoke. I guess North Carolina, I thought it was she was targeting me, but I realized that I'm in the same situation as before. My Donskoy decided to pay me a visit, push me out of smoke. I run back, Bismarck is there, and my smoke is dying out, but I have the islands to conceal me. So I'm just gonna wait for it to come up on the other side and then start shooting. Start as many fires as you can. Now, Bismarck secondaries should be able to reach me, but it doesn't appear that he's targeting me. It seems he's going for Donskoy, which is a plus. Typically, when I have Bismarck in situation like this, I will put the secondaries on a DD and I'll use my main armament on the bigger target. But it seems here I got a little lucky. So we're whittling it down, whittling the Bismarck down. Donskoy probably is not gonna be long for this world. There it goes. And now light some fires. Go behind this island here, shoot the planes down, and I should be relatively safe here, for now at least. Now our CVs also sent planes after Bismarck, who's burning, and one well-placed, or maybe more than one well-placed bomb, and that's it. Bismarck is no more. So I decided to go further south, see where it is. I think the game by now it's pretty much won. It's only 2 ships left on their end. I think the CV is going after me. With the torpedo plane, it's very hard to hit a destroyer. And I guess what he's trying to do here is kind of the spread. And here is Kitakaze as well. Try to get my guns switched to AP so I can do even more damage. Now, I'm more concerned about Kitakaze's torpedoes, so I choose to stay a little bit away. Now, in retrospect, could have been maybe a mistake. I could have just chased them, but given the CV and the destroyer are here and not too many ships are backing me, I felt there was no reason to pursue Kitakaze. I can wait for him on this other end if he decides to come out. And I guess being chased by my teammates and by CV, he tries to escape, but that just places him in an even worse position. And that's pretty much the end of Kitakaze right there. And now we're left with a CV. My health is down to about a quarter. The plane is there, but so is the CV. Given the secondary, I don't want to get too close. I really want to get out. And I think the destroyers, it's not really that easy for them to manage CVs just with their guns. The penetration may not necessarily be there, and then if you have the armored flat top, you know, not easy. And then any fires you start, they pretty much expire in no time. So not a good position. Here I'm around 8.6, 8.5 kilometers, which is way too close. You can see the secondary shells chasing me. So I decide to smoke up, cover myself, add some distance, and then re-engage. It seems that the CV is out of a lot of other planes, so he's resorting to using torpedo planes, which not really a big threat to me. The AP bombers also, I mean, they do only what, 1/10 of their damage if they hit a DD. So again, you know, not as much of a threat, which makes it hard for Graf Zeppelin to really deal with destroyers that are a little further. So here I'm at what, 9.2, 9.5, and I'm just shooting. I'm outside the secondary range. I guess it's not fully secondary spec CV, either because it doesn't have a captain or maybe decided to use some of the modules for something else. The secondary spec is fun if you can get close, but it doesn't necessarily let you use the planes and what the CV playstyle offers you to the max. So it's a compromise like anything else. And the game ends here. It was a fun game. You know, we did well. Sunk 2 ships, 1 plane short out of AA expert, top of the team, almost 2,400 points. Lots of damage to Bismarck, North Carolina, and Drake. And in terms of points, 10,000 points. So that was fun. So Friesland, still a good ship. It's a fun ship to play. It can be a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you don't have Friesland, I suggest using the first opportunity to go and get it and take it out sometimes and have fun. That's all from me. Take care and stay safe. Maro out.